What up, everyone? Whew! It's got a little bit of kick to it. Yeah, that's how we roll here. Anyway, we've got a box this day. That was a weird thing to say this day. Anyway, Marvel Collector Core is here. I'm being weird. I'm saying weird things. But Marvel Box is here. People are asking about it all month long. When's Marvel coming? When are we going to see it? When are we going to see the review? It's here. It has arrived. So welcome to the review. So, without further ado, let's jump into this box and see what kind of stuff we got. First, no surprise here, we got a t-shirt. Now this box's theme is Secret Wars, as you could obviously tell by the title on the box. And then we got some of the main characters from the Secret War. And they're in their pop, like, figure look. So we got the four of them. We got Iron Man, Spider-Man, Thor, and Falcon as Captain America. So cool. I like that. I like the style of it. And it seems like a pretty nice quality of shirt. So yeah, I really like that. As far as the score on this specific shirt, I'm gonna give this one like an 8 out of 10. Like it's good. It's branded. It doesn't. The good thing about Marvel Collector Core, it doesn't have to be a crossover because they have their own brand. They never have to cross over anything. So that's cool. It's a really nice shirt, and it's good quality, and it's semi-fitted. So there's really nothing not to like about it, unless you don't like Marvel, which in that case you wouldn't be getting this box. But so overall, very nice shirt. 8 out of 10. I like it. Then we got a comic. So this is also Secret Wars, and we got the same pop theme going on. So this one has the Lady Thor pop figure on it. I have not checked out this comic yet because it is sealed, but the good news is they bagged and boarded it. This is something that we've been asking for since their first box because so many things come damaged. So it's good to know that they're listening. So it did come bagged and boarded, and it did come sealed, which is good because then it adds a little bit of collectability to it if it's still sealed. It's bad if you want to read it, but it's good if you wanted just to collect it or to resell it because it's still in packaging. So that's good. I like that they're doing that, and I think everyone appreciates comics being bagged and boarded. I think all around, it's a good thing. So I think everyone's pretty happy to see that. Then, we also got our pin and our patch. So these are standard. They come in every single box. But there we go. We got Falcon and Iron Man. Nice stuff. I'm pretty sure that's Iron Man, by the way. I haven't been keeping up with the Secret War series. That, for all I could know, that could be War Machine, but I'm pretty sure it's Iron Man. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. I know they will. So, someone correct me if I'm wrong on that. Anyway, next, the last two items, we got two pop figures. I might as well show them at the same time. So, no surprise at all on the characters. We got the Lady Thor, and then we got the Miles Morales Spider-Man. So, the more up-to-date current Spider-Man. Get a good look at those. Get a look. Nice! So, and obviously, for those of you who don't know, everything in this box is 100% exclusive, so that's good. That's always a plus. So, that was all the items in the box. Not a ton of them, but that's pretty much to be expected. So, let's go back through this box, and let's talk about some value, and then let's talk about some points on this box that I'd like to bring up. So, first, the t-shirt. So this will get the standard $12 to $15 value. Although the funny thing about this shirt is you can find it for much cheaper. The ironic part about Marvel Collector Core, which is the same with Loot Crate now, it's becoming so popular that everyone's getting it. So unfortunately the things in the box you can find for pretty cheap online. So normally a shirt like this would cost around that much to buy, but you can buy it a lot cheaper online if you go to an auction or something like that. Anywhere on eBay, so you can buy it a little cheaper. So I was hesitant to give it a little less value because it's closer to 10, but I'm still going to give it the standard 12 to 15 because it's only a $2 difference. It's not going to make much of a difference in the total value. Then, our comic book. Same thing with this. Normally, like I've said with so many boxes, anytime you get an exclusive comic book, it's usually just the cover, first of all. Anytime you get that, the price goes up from $4 to about $10. And that's almost always the case. And this is no different. The value on this one is about $7 to $10. That's how much it's selling for online. You can get as cheap as $7, sometimes even cheaper. But around $7 to $10 is how much it's going for. So, unfortunately, there's not a lot of resale market for things like the comic and the shirt. It's more for collectability. So, around $7 to $10 on that. Then, the pop figures. So first one, the Miles Morales Spider-Man. I've had some difficulty valuing things lately because there's, like I said, it was same with Loot Crate. As soon as something goes in a box, it devalues it, so people sell it for dirt cheap online. But there's also like the full like market price of something. So when the box first came, these pops were going for around 30. But now that everyone's got their boxes and like is selling stuff, now they're going for about 20. So that's what the value is. And that's the unfortunate thing about it. It kind of depends on when I'm doing my review of the box, affects the actual value of it. So I'm trying to come up with a system in the future to adapt to that. Or maybe I just need to start catching up with my boxes, because the amount of time away from when the box arrives depends on some of the value of the items. So I'm trying to adapt to that the best I can. But right now I've been keeping track of it. This goes for around $20. And remember, that's a general amount. It's going to go up and down for a while. Over time, it may keep decreasing as if they keep making this box. I don't see it going back up for like a very long time. And honestly, the Miles Morales Spider-Man, he's popular, but not as popular as like the original Spider-Man, so I can't see it going up a lot in value over time, but we'll see. Only time will tell. And the other thing I thought was weird, the exclusive sticker. Like, they don't have a special like Marvel Collector Core sticker, it just kind of says exclusive. Not a big deal, I noticed that and I'm like, that just seems out of place. But anyway, so this goes for around 20 bucks, so that's what it's going to be valued at. And the Lady Thor pop. This one, about the same. A little bit more than the Spider-Man one, because the Spider-Man one isn't as special because it kind of is just a repaint. It's a Spider-Man pop figure that's just repainted. The sculpt is actually different from previous Spider-Man, but it still just looks like a repaint. Whereas this one is like a totally different sculpt, or at least different pieces that they piece together, but it actually is a different sculpt. So this one goes for a little bit more, but not much. But basically still around $20. Maybe like $22 or something like that. Again, a general amount, but that's around what it's selling for, right around that $20 range. And then, the last items, the patch and the pin, I put like a $3 to $5 range on these because they are cool. They are nice quality, but it is like, it says Marvel Collector Core, so you'd have to know what the box is to appreciate something like this. If it was just a patch and it didn't say anything like that, I think it would actually increase the value because then anyone could enjoy it. But now that it has like the name on there, it's like it's more specific to people that are getting the box, so the resale market on these is not super high at all. So $3 to $5 is actually kind of generous on that, but it's still very nice. They're good quality and I like that. So, with that all being said, that brings the value of the box on the low end about $62 and on the high end about $70, which is a lot lower than we've seen in the past. So I want to talk a little bit about the quality of this box and the rating of this box and why I'm giving it a certain rating. So let me take a drink and let's get into that. Ooh, and it burns. Alright, so basically, people were hyping this box up a lot. I'm always one of the last people to get it. I'm not sure why. I'm on the West Coast, and I can't remember where it's shipping from, but I think it's close to me. But anyway, I always get mine later in the month. I'm not sure why. It doesn't matter, though. But so I always hear about it before I get it. And this one was hyped up a lot. So many people were so excited about it and said how, oh, this is the best one. Yeah, you're going to love it so much. And then I got it, and it's not. I don't think it's the best one yet. I don't think it can compare to like the first box at all. And not to say that it's bad, it's still a great box. There's nothing against Marvel at all. I love Marvel, I love Funko. The fact that it's 100% exclusive is still amazing, and it's always great stuff. This is one of the best boxes out there by far. But this one I think just doesn't compare to like the first box, and I don't even know about the second one, honestly. And here's why. So let me give this a rating first, and then we'll talk about it. My rating on this is going to be an 8.25. Which is a really good rating when you compare it to other boxes. Like, that's one of the higher ratings that I give out. That's very high on the scale. So this is still one of the best boxes out there, don't get me wrong. But as far as quality compared to their previous boxes, I don't think it's as great. Again, let me just reiterate this as many times as I can. Not bad, still great, but not as good as it has been, and here's why. The first box was Avengers. Like, it's hard to compete with that. They just had the movie coming out. They have so many characters in there. It was a big deal. And this one had a lot of options for characters, but they didn't seem to explore all the options. Secret Wars involves so many different characters, but they kind of stuck to a basic, like the basic 4 that they had there on the shirt. And honestly, this kind of seems more geared towards like the Lady Thor. We got the pop with Lady Thor, we got the comic with Lady Thor's on the shirt, and that was most of the box. Like, obviously there's the Miles Morales and other characters are featured on the shirt, but it seemed very, and Lady Thor is actually even on the box, like there's her picture on it. So it seemed a little too geared towards one character. And I think that's like a downfall on their part. And honestly, it seems like this box is more trying to push their new series than it is trying to please customers, because they could have done so many more characters and different characters, like the Iron Man one. I would have loved to see him as a pop figure or something like that. And nothing against Lady Thor, she's cool and all, but it seems like they pushed it too much. And also, they pushed the whole pop thing too much. Like, the pop characters were on the shirt, the pop character was on the comic, and then you get pop figures. Like, the first box, you got to mix this stuff. You got one pop figure, you also got a Dorbs figure, which was a new series which we hadn't seen before, and then you got a comic book, which was a normal comic book, and then you got a shirt with like normal comic book style. So I like that it was a mix of like Funko and Marvel. It seemed like a mix of the two. And now it seems like much more Funko and just featuring Marvel characters. It seems like Funko's kind of taking over a little bit. And that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just liked it more when there's a little bit more variety. And even with the Ant-Man box, they had the problem, the movie had just come out, but the problem with that was they only had one character, which is kind of, it's not good, because if you happen to not like Ant-Man, then that box is useless to you and you probably wouldn't have got it. So it was hard because they could only focus on one character really. But I did like it because, one, their pop was a little bit different because they had the mini pop in there. So it made it a little bit different than just your average pop. And also you had mystery minis in there, which don't come about that often as far as exclusivity. You just don't see exclusive mystery minis out and about that often. It just doesn't really happen. So the fact that we got exclusive mystery minis was kind of cool. So it was still something a little bit different. And the first box, still to this day, one of the best boxes I've ever seen. It was absolutely amazing. It came with the pop figure, but it was special because it was big. It was the oversized pop, which you don't really see in boxes pretty much ever. So the fact that it was big was like a special thing. It was really amazing and a really cool character that everyone knew. And on top of that, they really went like the extra mile on that. The sculpt on it was amazing. The paint job on it was amazing. Like, it was really special. And not that these pop figures aren't good or aren't special, but like I said, this one is just kind of a variant paint job. This one is an exclusive sculpt, but they're back to their usual thing where I'm looking at it. I don't know how well the camera's going to focus on it or how well you can see it, but if you can see it, the paint job is not great. You can see underneath her mask, like her silver paint job kind of goes onto her face. So it seems like they're back to the old Funko, where you can tell with their figures, sometimes they do amazing paint jobs. Sometimes it's like so perfect, like the Hulkbuster. They really went the extra mile to make sure it was nice. But then other figures where they get a little lazy, the paint job's kind of all over the place, so it just didn't seem as special. So the first box had a really amazing figure, and like I said, we got the Dorbs in there, which was something new and different, and it had a mix of like the modern comic book style and the Funko style, so I was more happy about that. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is I'm just pointing out things as far as difference in quality. That's why this box got a little bit lower of a score. So, but I don't want you to think that I'm hating on this box whatsoever, because I'm absolutely not. I love this box to death. I'm explaining why it got an 8.25 and not like a 9.5 like the first one, because so many more people are getting this. The resale market is much lower now. And I think a lot of people are selling this stuff because people didn't like it as much. Because it doesn't matter who you are, like, Lady Thor's cool, but she's never going to be more popular than regular Thor. Like, people like Lady Thor, girls like Lady Thor, they love Lady Thor, but Thor's always going to be more popular. And the same with the Miles Morales Spider-Man. He's super cool, it's a good change of pace, his costume looks cool, nothing wrong with that at all, but he's just never going to be more popular than the original Spider-Man. It's just not going to happen, ever. So that's the bitter irony about that. Like, they seem like they're pushing this like Secret Wars comic book and franchise a little more than they're just trying to like please people. So this is totally fine that they did that, but I honestly would have been happier if they chose like exclusive pop figures of more popular characters. So there's nothing much more to say about that. But the good news is that now that they've done the Secret Wars, the next box is the Villains box, and that looks awesome. That's going to have classic characters. It's got Venom on the front, so you know he's going to be in there, so I'm super excited about that. Anyway, super long tangent. I just wanted to get that out there because I have no one else to talk to, so you guys are my audience. So I ramble on about this kind of stuff. So let me know what you guys thought about that, though. If you feel the same as me, what you thought as far as quality from the first box to this box. I hope next month is going to be as amazing as the first one, because they have some real potential. Because like I said, Avengers, so many characters. Ant-Man, you had one. Secret Wars, they kind of focused on one or two. Villains could be literally anything, so I have a lot of hope for that. So the scores are going to be up and down as far as boxes go, as far as Marvel Collector Corps. But anyway, I just wanted to explain why that got a little bit of a lower score. But this has been Marvel Collector Corps. We got an 8.25 out of 10. Based on the value, you only got about double the value. But the shirt was very nice. I liked it. It got an 8 out of 10. So again, let me know what you guys think. I'd love to talk to you guys more about this and have a little debate going. And as soon as we got another Geek Talk episode coming up in October, so I'm sure I'll be talking about it then. But overall, I just wasn't as excited about this one as the previous ones. But this is still, no argument here, one of the better boxes. So I'm still happy to have it. Again, let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you guys in the comments. I'll talk to you guys in messages. Let's talk about it. It's been good shit. Anyway, 8.25 out of 10, 8 out of 10 on the shirt. Thank you all for watching. Love you all. Peace.